In a development that has drawn wide attention from both inside and outside the Vatican, Pope Leo XIV has appointed Cardinal Robert Sarah to a new and yet undefined role within the Holy See. The announcement came without much ceremony, made just before noon by the Vatican press office. It was short and straightforward. It read, "His Holiness Pope Leo XIV has appointed His Eminence Cardinal Robert Sarah to a newly established role within the Holy See. More details will be shared in due course." There was no mention of a job title, no press briefing, no explanation. And yet the simple message set off a wave of discussion across Catholic communities around the world. For some it brought surprise, for others hope, and for many curiosity. What does this appointment mean? Why now? And why Cardinal Sarah? To understand the reactions, we must first understand the man at the center of this announcement. Cardinal Robert Sarah is not an unfamiliar figure. Born in Guinea, West Africa, he is one of the most prominent voices in the Catholic Church when it comes to defending tradition. Over the years, Cardinal Sarah has earned deep respect for his calm, serious, and faith-filled approach. He's been known for his devotion to prayer, silence, and spiritual discipline. He has never been one to seek headlines. He rarely speaks to the media, and yet his books, speeches, and interviews have been widely read and discussed by clergy and lay people alike. His message has always been clear. The Church must remain rooted in its timeless teachings. It should not bend to every trend of modern society. It should lead by example, quietly but firmly. During the papacy of Pope Francis, Cardinal Sarah often stood out as a more traditional voice. He expressed concern about changes in the liturgy and warned against what he called the dilution of the Church's spiritual mission. He believed that in trying to adapt to modern culture, the Church risked losing its soul. Because of these views, many assumed that Cardinal Sarah had been pushed to the sidelines. Though he continued to serve faithfully, it seemed unlikely that he would be given another major role, especially under a pope expected to carry forward the progressive tone set by his predecessor. And yet here we are. This surprise appointment by Pope Leo XIV raises many questions, and not just about Cardinal Sarah's future, but also about the direction of this new papacy. To better understand what this might mean, we need to look at Pope Leo XIV himself. Born Robert Francis Prevost in Chicago, Illinois, he is the first American pope in the Church's history. His election on May 8, 2025, was a historic moment, not just for the United States, but for the global Church. His background is unique. Before becoming pope, he was an Augustinian priest, a missionary in Peru, and later served as a bishop and cardinal. Pope Leo XIV has worked with poor communities. He has listened to those on the margins. He is fluent in English, Spanish, and Italian. He's seen both the needs of the people and the internal workings of the Church. These experiences have shaped his approach, one that blends compassion with a strong commitment to Church teachings. Though many see him as a progressive figure, Pope Leo XIV has shown that he is not interested in quick fixes or superficial changes. His message during his inaugural Mass focused on unity, love, and service. He called himself not a reformer, but a servant of the faith. That phrase, a servant of the faith, has guided many of his early actions as Pope. So why appoint Cardinal Sarah, a man known for traditional values, to an undefined but clearly important role? Some believe it's a sign that Pope Leo XIV wants to bring balance to the Church. Instead of drawing lines between conservatives and progressives, he may be trying to build bridges by including voices like Cardinal Sarah's in shaping the future. Others see it as a strategic move. Cardinal Sarah's deep experience with liturgy and worship could be vital at a time when the Church faces confusion and division over how the Mass is celebrated. By involving Cardinal Sarah, the Pope may be signaling a renewed focus on sacred tradition, but without turning away from dialogue and compassion. Of course, none of this is confirmed. The Vatican has not yet revealed what this new role actually involves. Still, the choice of Cardinal Sarah is meaningful. It suggests that Pope Leo XIV values not only new ideas, but also the wisdom of the past. It shows that he's willing to listen, even to voices that don't always align perfectly with the direction some expect the Church to take. For those who support Cardinal Sarah, this moment is both a surprise and a joy. They see it as a recognition of his lifelong service, his deep spiritual insight, and his willingness to speak the truth even when it is not popular. They believe his voice is more needed than ever, especially at a time when the Church is wrestling with complex moral, cultural, and theological issues. For others, the news brings mixed feelings. There are those who worry that Cardinal Sarah represents a step back. They fear his influence could slow the Church's efforts to become more inclusive, especially toward those who feel excluded or judged by traditional interpretations. But perhaps this is exactly the kind of moment Pope Leo XIV hopes to create, not a time of division but a time of honest discussion, a time when people of different viewpoints come together not to fight, but to listen, to learn, and to find the deeper unity that faith can bring. And so, we wait. As more information becomes available about Cardinal Sarah's new position, many will be watching closely. Will he have an advisory role? Will he lead a new liturgical commission? Will he be tasked with strengthening ties between different theological schools within the Church? Whatever the specifics, one thing is clear. This is not just a routine appointment. It is a decision that has already made an impact, and it will continue to shape the direction of Pope Leo XIV's papacy. In a Church that stretches across every continent, with over 1 billion members, leadership matters. Symbolic choices matter, and the people the Pope chooses to stand beside him tell us a great deal about his vision. This move shows that Pope Leo XIV is serious about building a Church that does not forget its roots, a Church that honors the past, engages the present, and prepares for the future. Cardinal Sarah's new role, whatever it turns out to be, may well become one of the cornerstones of that vision. In conclusion, we are witnessing a fascinating moment in Church history. Two men, Pope Leo XIV and Cardinal Robert Sarah, each with different backgrounds, different styles, and perhaps different priorities, are now connected in a way that could reshape the future of Catholic life. As more details are revealed, the eyes of the world will remain on the Vatican. But beyond the speculation, beyond the headlines, lies a simple and powerful hope that the Church, under this new leadership, may find unity not through sameness, but through shared faith, respectful dialogue, and a renewed commitment to the gospel. And perhaps in that quiet but courageous vision, both tradition and progress will find their place.